What's up guys, Sammy here, and today I've got a review of the QNAP HS-453DX, a NAS or a network attached storage device that supports two 3.5-inch hard drives or two 2.5-inch SSDs, and two M.2 SATA SSDs. The QNAP HS-453DX features a slim white/bronze design, however don't let looks fool you. It's quite hefty at 2.4 kilograms without hard drives installed. You could say that the size of it is similar to what a Blu-ray player would be, and I would like to see a version of this with a smaller footprint that supports both NVMe PCI SSDs and SATA SSDs that would require less energy input. That aside, in the box you'll find a power brick, a power adapter for your region, two Cat6a Ethernet cables, a bunch of hard drive mounting screws for 3.5-inch and 2.5-inch drives. You'll also find thermal pads for installing the M.2 SATA SSD drives, a remote control for use with HD Station and that HDMI port on the back, and a quick start guide/warranty information. Something to note is that the QNAP HS-453DX only supports M.2 SATA SSDs and not the NVMe PCIe standard, which I was, to be honest, a little disappointed about. Taking a look at the front of the QNAP HS-453DX, you'll find that front panel which will pop off and is held in place by strong magnets. Here you have release tabs for those hot swappable bays, which you're able to either install 3.5-inch or 2.5-inch drives. You'll also find that power button and LED status indicators in the middle. On the back of the QNAP HS-453DX, you'll find, starting from the left, your power input, a reset button, an RJ45 1GB Ethernet port, an RJ45 10GB Ethernet port from Aquantia, a USB Type-C 3.0 port, two USB 2.0 ports and two USB 3.0 ports, a line out port, two microphone ports, one HDMI 1.4 port which supports up to 4K or 3840 by 2160 at 30Hz, and lastly one HDMI 2.0 port which supports 4K or 3840 by 2160 at 60Hz. Something to note about those HDMI ports is that they're specifically for use with QNAP's HD Station application, which allows you to view your media content on a TV, for example, and has a few applications that allows for use with the included remote. Spec-wise, I won't go into it too much, but it features an Intel Celeron J4105 quad-core 1.5 GHz processor with burst mode up to 2.5 GHz. Graphics-wise, it has an Intel UHD 600 graphics chip, and the model that I'm taking a look at today features 4GB of DDR4 SODIMM memory, upgradable up to 8GB of memory. Whilst QNAP NASs are capable of running a multitude of applications, I wanted to perform a few tests in particular to media viewing, as I see the QNAP HS-453DX being purchased for that in particular. I installed and set up a Plex Media server on the NAS and playbacked a few 1080p and 4K streams. I noticed in my testing that the QNAP HS-453DX wasn't able to sustain playback with 4K streams through an Apple TV 4K, Plex's Samsung Smart TV app, or through Plex installed through HD Station with that HDMI 2.0 port. Playback of 4K streams were also consistent with long buffering times and high CPU usage, even with the hardware transcoding option selected in Plex, and sometimes not even being able to start 4K streams at all, whilst 1080p streams were fine with little to no buffering or high CPU usage. Performance-wise, the QNAP HS-453DX using two WD-Red Pro 6TB hard drives in a RAID 0 configuration using 10GB Ethernet connectivity, I was able to see throughput speeds of 630 MB per second reads and 360 MB per second writes. So who is this for then? Well, I'm not sure I'd consider it for anyone wanting to store and watch their 4K Blu-ray movies on. The CPU is evidently too slow for that, however 1080p is still fine and perfectly watchable through the QNAP HS-453DX. Apart from that, it still functions as a NAS should, where you're able to transfer files through 10GB Ethernet, and QNAP offer a lot of different applications that should come in use for things like a surveillance system. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for my review of the QNAP HS-453DX. A special thanks to QNAP for providing this to the channel for review. Anyways, hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.